William Shakespeare, brilliant playwright, talented poet, perfect psychologist and philosopher, judge of human souls. His literary heritage includes 38 poems, 154 sonnets, and 3 epitaphs. Shakespeare is the second quoted author in the world after the writers of the Bible. Google research on Shakespeare returns more than 150 million results. He has been credited with introducing almost 3,000 new words to the English language. According to the Oxford Dictionary of Quotations, Shakespeare wrote close to 1/10 of the most quoted lines ever written or spoken in English. William Shakespeare never published his plays. He objected then to bring out and wearing them only to stage. Today, almost all his works are translated into a majority of languages, at a stage more frequently than the plays of the other outstanding playwrights. He greatly influenced and enriched not only English language, but opened a new page in the world literature.
William Shakespeare was born in Stratford-upon-Avon, England. His actual birth is uncertain, but most believe he was born on or near April 23, 1564, and baptized on April 26, 1564. As a boy, he could be educated at the local King's Grammar School. It was typical for the boy whose father was successful merchant, a glove maker, later a bailiff of Stratford, today's mayor. Possibly John Shakespeare was caught in illegal wood trade and usury. It was the end of his public life. William didn't study at the university.
There were 8 children in Shakespeare's family. William was the third child.
At the age of 18, Shakespeare married Anne Hathaway. She was 8 years older and 3 months pregnant. They had 3 children, the oldest daughter Susanna and 2 twins, son Hamlet and daughter Judith.
1585 to 1592 is a black spot in Shakespeare's biography. He disappeared from the historical records. There are no facts at all about his way to fame. Scholars call the time the lost years. It is said that at the age of 21 he moved to London, worked as a groom, a gardener.
In February 1599, Cuthbert and Richard Babbage, with 5 other members of the troupe, including Shakespeare, rented a part of the land of the globe. Unfortunately, the theatre burned.
Shakespeare was not only an actor and a playwright, he was a brilliant businessman, manager, entrepreneur who knew market. His association with the theatre company made him a wealthy man, and in 1597 he bought the second largest house in Stratford called New Place.
Different types of Shakespeare's plays are separated into histories, comedies, tragedies, tragicomedies. The most popular of them are Romeo and Juliet, A Midsummer Night's Dream, Twelfth Night, King Lear, Hamlet, Much Ado About Nothing, The Comedy of Errors, Othello.
At the age of 29, Shakespeare began to write poetry. It was mostly an economical necessity. In 1593 and 1594, the theatres were closed.
We practically know nothing where and when were written all Shakespeare's works, and whom they were devoted. Someone says he is a robber. On April 23, 1616, Shakespeare died. He was buried in the Holy Trinity Church in Stratford-upon-Avon. Shakespeare penned a cause for his own grave. Good friend, for Jesus' sake forbear to dig the dust and close it here. Blessed be the man that spares the stones, and cursed be he that moves my bones. His grave is still...
William Shakespeare has no descendants. His son died at the age of 11. His daughter Judith has 3 children, but they were childless. Susanna was childless too. Her death was the end of Shakespeare's family. Thus, Shakespeare's mystery was buried too.
In 1747, priest John Green found Shakespeare's will, where William described in details his savings, from the land and houses to the fox and second-hand bed, and mentioned nothing about his literary treasure. More than 50 pretendants to the paternity of Shakespeare's works: philosopher Francis Bacon, Lord Southampton and Rutland, Earl Derby, even
1957, an American journalist and writer, Delia Bacon, published a book titled Revealed Philosophy of Shakespeare's Plays. In it, Delia stated that Shakespeare wasn't a single writer, but it was a group of freethinkers who were brought together by the same political views and led by the philosopher Francis Bacon. She was so possessed by the idea that she fanatically tried to deny the authorship of William Shakespeare. She even went so far as to go to Great Britain and try to dig up his grave. This great adventure ended tragically. She was arrested by the local guard and later put into a psychiatric hospital where she spent the last of her days.
The most unbelievable version was published by John Hudson. He confirmed that William Shakespeare was a Jewish woman with Italian root named Amelia Basson Valliers. She lived in England and she was the first woman to publish the poetical collection. Hudson compared her with dark woman in Shakespeare's sonnets and believed it was Amelia. Hudson studied her biography and tried to prove the road under the nickname
At the
of
beginning of the 20th century, there was a professor named Thomas Looney, and he advanced the hypothesis that Shakespeare was a nickname used by British poet and aristocrat Edward de Vere. The family crest of Edward de Vere shows a lion with a broken spear, or a literal translation of Shakespeare, one who shakes a spear. Since then, Looney's version has become the most popular in Great Britain. Edward de Vere graduated from Cambridge University and got his master's degree at Oxford. He was known as a patron of the theater, and there he would have met an actor by the last name Shakespeare, but ending P-E-R. And through this, he would have been able to put forth his plays into studying all of Shakespeare's works, gave a psychological profile of the author. In this profile, he described him as eccentric, with deep erudition, belonging to the highest circles of society, and having the knowledge of foreign languages, but lack of mercantile interests and a great love of music. All of this perfectly describes Edward de Vere, but doesn't describe William Shakespeare at all, who actually got taxes from farmers for straw and grain, was a money lender, and who cruelly persecuted his debtors. Shakespeare's works show that not only the genius of the author, but also his encyclopedic knowledge, which wasn't that of his contemporaries. Shakespeare's dictionary has alone over 20,000 words, and the most model Englishman wouldn't have taken more than 4,000 words. The author knew French, Greek, Latin, and Italian, ancient mythology, history, law, rhetoric, medicine, and especially botany. 63 different kinds of plants were mentioned in his works. So, at the very least, it's strange. How could the provincial man without a university diploma, who just graduated grammar school and never left England, know all these things? It's a question that has remained a mystery for centuries.
Whoever was William Shakespeare, a son of glowmaker from Stanford-upon-Avon, mysterious aristocrat, or Jewish woman, he is the most influential figure in the history of civilization. A soul of the century, Ben Jonson said.
Today, most scholars believe William Shakespeare from Stanford-upon-Avon wrote all his plays and